Good afternoon. Welcome to VANIK Live. Let us start today's current affair discussion. Fine. The first topic of discussion today is on the governance concept, Indian media's role during the pandemic. Media is the fourth pillar of the democracy. So it is called as the fourth pillar. Government. Okay. The legislature, the executive, the judiciary, and the media. Although these three are part of the government, this is not part of the government. But it plays a very important role in the governance. Fine. And if we divide the media, so media can broadly be divided into, okay, if we divide this media, it will be the print media, electronic media, and third one is the social media, which is a very recent origin, which is very important, very dynamic, very influential also right now. Fine. The 17th Asia Media Summit. The news is about the 17th Asia Media Summit via video conferencing was held. Okay, and the Information Broadcasting Minister of India, he addressed it. Okay, that what he told, that COVID awareness message, important government guidelines, and the consultation with doctor reach everyone in the country through the media, especially electronic media, print media, social media, all were utilized to make the people aware about this pandemic, its precaution, government steps on that, guidelines regarding how to handle this pandemic, how to be safe and secure. It is the consultation. Okay, so media was used on this. The theme of the summit, okay, was future forward reimagining media, because media's role is changing as per the changing dynamic concept. The media was no more in its own traditional role, but the role of media is changing. It is becoming very, very dynamic right now. Fine. And in this, what has been highlighted, Doordarshan and All India Radio significantly delivered on the mandate of public service, was proved by their role in setting the trend through prompt coverage, ground reports, and organizing programs on public health. So both the television and radio, so they played very proactive role during the pandemic in creating awareness, disseminating information, okay, organizing discussions involving the eminent persons in the domain of healthcare, whom the people are able to easily access. Fine. But the concern was raised regarding the fake news. Unverified claims and fake content circulating in the media had created an atmosphere of extreme fear among the people during the period. Although PIB is there, the fact check unit strongly fought against this menace of fake news and misinformation on a real time basis. But the overloading was such that at times even some fake news were circulated regarding the pandemic. It spread, so some fake informations, so its fatalities. Okay, so or the extreme sense of fear was created and spread in the media, and that spread more in the social media. Fine, because the print and electronic media somehow have some control, okay, somehow more regulated than the social media. So, but still some fake news were there, which created panic among the people. Fine. So about the importance of media, what I discussed over there. Awareness during the COVID-19, the Indian media played a very important role in educating the people about the benefit of being vaccinated against coronavirus. You know, initially there is vaccine hesitancy among all. When the vaccine was first introduced, the people are hesitant to take the vaccine or get the vaccine administered on them. Fear that vaccine may there may be reaction to that. It may lead to fever, other critical issues in the healthcare. So there is vaccine hesitancy among the people. But the media played a very important role in removing this hesitancy by showing that the eminent persons being injected. So the massive scale the senior citizens being injected and giving the information after regular interval, so how safe they are after the vaccination. That promoted the people to go for vaccination in large number. The initial phase, so the healthcare professional has to wait for a minimum number of patient or minimum number of person to open the vaccine for vaccination because of the vaccine hesitancy. But subsequently, the awareness was created by the media in such a way that there is big rush, long queues in front of the vaccination centers. The entire credit go to the awareness campaign made by the government using the media. The media was used by the government to disseminate information regarding the vaccine and its importance to the common people. Fine. Then imparting education, the young generation is becoming more aware of the sacrifices that our freedom fighters made for independence. Tool of empowerment, knowledge empowers people to take best decisions, and this dissemination of knowledge more done through the media. Accessibility and internet growth. The growth of internet through affordable mobile device has reignited the industry. The 5G technology would further enhance user experience with increase in the speed of delivery and improvement in the quality of the media content. So 2G, 3G, 4G and right now we are thinking of the 5G introduction. This internet and mobile connectivity has revolutionized the media scenario in the country, not only in the country but around the world, and India is no exception to that. So, one is this 3G, 4G technology and the easy accessibility and the availability of the mobile sets made the people much close to or brought the people most close to the information sharing or using the media. Okay, so that's why government is able to use them as a tool for disseminating knowledge. Think of education, agriculture, healthcare, whatever in whatever domain you think, business, market, selling the products, everywhere this media was used, okay, for disseminating knowledge and providing information on a real-time basis to the people who are in need of those information for their specific use. So here the role of media is highly applauded. Right? They have done commendable job in this domain. Fine. Then preservation content generation. It is the vision of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi to prioritize preservation and promotion of the India's rich cultural heritage, and that's through creating the. So in this way, government has announced the world's largest film restoration project under the National Film Heritage Mission. Right. That means so most of the important movies will be digitized and be stored for future reference. As part of this drive, more than 2,200 movies across languages and genres will be restored to their former glory, which have been so the movies were so in the technology are not that upgraded. There some are black and white, some are shoot in that during that period, which are not that compatible. Right now, technology is being used to upgrade them and store them for future reference. The new generation should know, acknowledge, and imbibe the value that our forefathers cherished during the freedom movement. So many uh, videos are there, so many photographs are there. So they need restoration. So those moments can be kept for the posterity in a more digital format. Otherwise, so the future generation will know them only by looking at the photo, not the real scene. So to create that, so technology is being used, and Government of India has launched program with the direct direction from the Prime Minister that this should be stored for posterity for future reference. Fine. Then challenges. What are the challenges? Okay. One more thing that we have left is the soft power. So India cinema ruled and hearts of millions across the world and had created an identity for Indians. This is evident in the way Indian films got tremendous applause from film lovers in the festivals. Okay, running out of 300 releases, India produced the highest number of movie every year. What are the challenges to that? Authenticity of content would always remain at the core, whatever be the technological progress, and with rising fake news, it is becoming tougher to discriminate fake news from real one. This is the biggest challenge right now. Okay, because in the era there are some people who are spreading fake news and they are always one step ahead of the genuine news creator or disseminator. So in this way, so we should be very extra cautious in means segregating. Then second is there are cases in which lack accountability to the public and their ethical and professional standards are questionable. This puts a big question mark. Then media independence is under the radar of the questions as it is influenced by ruling government most of the time. So media, how far media is free? In the press freedom index, so India rank is much behind. If you see the recently published press freedom index, so India's rank in this press freedom index is much deplorable. Although we don't have imposed any censorship on the press, but the media is controlled by some action or the other by the government or the party in power. So media is not free. So that's why in the press freedom index we are much behind. Fine. Then the financial viability of the media houses makes them more prone to seeking favor from the government because the media depends upon the government advertisement. So it is a print media or electronic media, so they largely depend upon the government advertisement for their sustainability. Without getting government advertisement, it is not possible on the part of the media houses to survive, whether print or electronic. If they will not succumb to the government pressure. They will not get the government advertisement. Okay, that's why so media is always biased. It's told because so to get the favor of the government, they show favor to the government. To get the financial favor from the government, they have to show favor to the government so they can get the cover in the form of advertisement. Fine. Then section 124A of IPC, that is into sedition law, which is much in news recently, is another big stumbling block in this domain. Because so on the charges of sedition, many journalists or media personnel have been booked by the government, and this has created a pure psychosis in the mind of the people, and the press freedom is somehow restricted due to this one. So what is the way forward? A very positive role is played by the media in the world, not only in India, around the world. It has immense ability to shape the right public perceptions and perspective as an effective tool of empowerment. Media independence can be guaranteed if the media organizations are financially viable, free from intervention of media ownership of and the state, and operate in a competitive environment. Efforts to help the media should be directed towards protection of the press rights, enhancing media accountability, building media capacity, and democratizing the media access rather than controlling them. Fine. So media will be should be given a free hand, and they should follow to the terms and conditions. So they should not be allowed to go for any fake news. Okay, there should be some sort of control over them, that they should not spread what is not expected from them. So all these can bring a healthy competition in the society. Fine. The next news is the anti-satellite weapon for strategic military purpose. In the defense section, this is the anti-satellite weapons. India successfully conducted its first anti-satellite ASAT weapons test as a part of the mission Shakti in low Earth orbit, or LEO. Okay, anti-satellite weapon are space weapons designed to incapacitate or destroy satellite for strategic military purpose. The Defense Research and Development Organization, the premier defense research body in the country. Okay, so ballistic missile defense interceptor was used in India's ASAT test. The test places India in a select group of countries along with USA, Russia, China with the demonstrated anti-satellite capability. So this particular weapon will incapacitate the uh, spy satellites or the defense satellites used to provide information during the war or in the war-like situation. And if this particular missile can destroy them, so the country's capacity to use the satellite to get information on the defense domain will be restricted. So India has a defense credibility, and Indian Defense Research Organization is a very reputed and premier organization in the world in making India self-reliant in missile technology, especially in the defense domain. Fine. So this is the issue. So and this can be this can be increased by the launching of test launching of this particular missile. Fine. The development of ASAT weapons is important for strategic military purpose because the ASAT weapon, okay, ASAT as it is called, weapon test provides credible deterrent against threat to India's growing space-based assets from long-range missiles. You know, we are a country with a diversified space program. We are able to launch so many ranges of satellites. If you broadly can say, we have three broad category of satellites launched by Isro. So Isro launched three different types of satellites. One is the INSAT satellites, which is the largest one. Then come the Indian remote sensing satellites. We launch it, and recently we are also launching the Indian regional navigation satellite system and making it operational through the NAVIC. Fine platform. So we have so many satellites, and the satellites need to be protected. So this weapon will protect our satellites from any enemy attack. Fine. So that is the advantage and that is the benefit of this particular weapon development. As Assad can be used to detect, target, and destroy communication military satellites of enemy countries during the time of war. That is what, so they can target the communication satellites or military satellites of the enemy country. The test also contributed to India's ability to undertake ballistic missile defense, and Assad test against a low Earth orbit based satellite demonstrate the ability to intercept long range missiles which fly faster and higher than certain tactical missiles that generally uh, fly within Earth's atmosphere. Fine. This is a long range missiles which will fly above the Earth atmosphere, and this missile will be able to destroy them. That is the advantage of this particular Assad missile. Absence of such weapon would compromise effective command and control and eliminate space-based intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance, thus enabling hostile neighboring country like China to crippling India's military capability. So it may cripple, but right now we have the same capability like China, so we can do the same thing. The test will provide new strength to India's security and economic development and social infrastructure. Fine. So the possibility of Assad triggering an arms race. Missile testing always encourages arms race because the country who tests the missile, its enemy countries who are surrounded by it, or those who feel it as a threat perception, may also try to add to their stockpiling, and this will definitely lead to a situation which is called as, normally, this is popularly called as arms race. Okay, because more and more country will join this, and if India develop this, its neighboring country like Pakistan, China, who are neighboring country but hostile to India, so may try to have more. Although China has this system, but Pakistan don't have this system, and getting this weapon having in India's custody or is India developing this weapon, this will raise the same query or the same mindset among the Pakistan establishment to get this type of weapon, either develop it or get it from some other country like China. So this will, no doubt, there is apprehension that this will raise arms race in the region. It's a possibility, but so whether arms race is going to take place or not, but this is one of the credible achievement of India, and India indigenously was able to develop this particular missile, which will be able to destroy the enemy spy satellites and other defense satellites during the war period. Fine. However, concern for space arms race instigated by Indian Assad tests are largely misplaced. Countries of the world are aware that space could be a potential zone of conflict in the upcoming future and are preparing themselves for such eventuality. For example, France and the United States are building space forces. India's Assad was capacity to demonstrate exercise which should be seen in the light of changing security dynamics of the world. India is a party to many major international treaties related to outer space, including the Outer Space Treaty of 1967, and none of these were evaluated during the Assad testing. India also supports UNGA Resolution 6932, number fast replacement of weapons of outer space and prevention of arms race in outer space (PAROS) in the Conference of Disarmament. Okay, so outer space should not be militarized, should not be weaponized. So this agreement was put by the United Nations, and India is signatory to this. But to showing this, many countries have developed it. Like the Star War program of America was launched during the Reagan period as the president of America. So Russia has similar program. So right now, countries are developing space forces, especially the special force to be used in the space war. Okay, thus it is comparatively less difficult to examine an issue in depth by committee of the 30 than by an assembly of 700. The issue faced by these committee limits their scopes. This is of no use. Then Asia Pacific Institute of Broadcasting Development. The Asia Pacific Institute of Broadcasting Development was established in August 1977 under the auspices of the United Nations Council, UNESCO. United Nations Educational, Scientific, Cultural Organization. It is a unique regional intergovernmental organization. What it is? Unique regional intergovernmental organization. Remember this status. It is a unique regional intergovernmental organizations serving countries of the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific. UNESCAP. In the field of electronic media development. It is hosted by the government of Malaysia and secretary located in Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia. The AIBD is mandated to achieve a vibrant and cohesive electronic media environment in the Asia Pacific region through policy and resource development. Full membership of AIBD is conferred to sovereign states or countries, and they are invited to designate the broadcasting authority of the country to be the beneficiary. The AIBD currently has 26 full members countries representing 43 organizations, 50 affiliate members with total membership of 93 representing 46 countries and regions and over 50 participants partners in Asia, Pacific, Europe, Africa, Sub-Saharan Arab states and North America. So this is regarding the broadcasting development. This group always under the UN Commission for Asia and the Pacific. Okay, so it is Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific. Under its uh, banner, this organization is created and is being promoted. One more defense related things. So Asta Mark 1 air-to-air missile strategic importance has been developed by DRDO. With the Ministry of Defense recently has signed an contract with the Hyderabad-based public sector Bharat Dynamics Limited for supply of Astra Mark 1 missiles at a cost of 2,971 crore for deployment on fighter jets and Indian Air Force and the Indian Navy. So this will be the naval version and air version of the Astra missile. Fine. The missile has been designed and developed by Defense Research Development Organization for deployment in fighter jets such as the Sukhoi 30, the Tejas, and the MiG-29K of the naval. Several successful tests has been conducted using these aircrafts or defense fighter planes. The Astra project was officially launched in the early 2000. The launch in early 2000 and development of the MK1 version was completed around 2017. More than 50 private and public industries, including the Indian Air Force, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, have contributed in building the Astra system. So the beyond visual range BVM, beyond visual range missile, uh, are capable of engaging beyond the range of 20 nautical miles, 37 kilometers. The Astra Mk1 has range of around 110 kilometers. The Mach 2 will have a higher range of 150 kilometers, is under development, while the Mach 3 will have higher range, which is to be tested in future. Fine. So it is 100% under development, and once it is done, so India will have a better command over the missiles which will be used in it by its naval forces and air forces. ASAM with beyond visual range capability provides large stand-off range to aircraft so that they can neutralize adversary airborne assets without exposing themselves to adversary air defense measures. Stand-up range means the missile is launched at a distance far enough to allow the attacking side to avoid defense fire from the target. Okay, the advantage. Astra is technologically and economically superior to many imported missile systems. The missile can travel at a speed of more than 4 times that of the sound and can reach a maximum altitude of 20 km. The missile is integrated on the Sukhoi 30 and will be integrated with the other fighter aircrafts in the phase manner, including Tejas. The Navy will integrate these MiG-29 fighter aircrafts on this aircraft carrier. Vikramaditya. Okay. The contract, the purchase will be under the buy category by Indian IDDM category of defense acquisition. The procurement from an Indian vendor of defense products have been indigenously designed, developed and manufactured with a minimum 50% indigenous contents on the basic the cost. Until now, the technology to manufacture missiles and this class indigenously are not available in the country. So we are able to develop it indigenously because so our own endeavor has resulted in creating this particular missile, which will be which has been developed in India, researched in India, and will produce in India itself. The project will create opportunity for several micro, small, medium enterprises in aerospace technology for the at least 25 years. This missile development will open floodgates for many MSME who are engaged in the defense domain, fine, in India to for the next 25 years to manufacture this because it has a very big potentiality. Then the last news is regarding a supercomputer. So in India we have the CDAC, okay, Center for Development of Advanced that Computing. CDAC C, this one as I told, the CDAC, Center for Development of Advanced Computing. Okay, and the Parama series of computers are developed by CDAC along with the cooperation of other stakeholders. Recently, the Center for Development of Advanced Computing (CDAC) and IIT Gandhinagar have unveiled India's latest supercomputer called Param Ananta. The development is in line with the phase 2 of the central government's national supercomputing mission. Could it? Yeah. Okay. So this is part of the national supercomputing mission phase 2. The Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Computing powers 838 tetraflop computing power capacity. The high power supercomputer can process 383 lakh crore calculations per second. Fine. Ranking the supercomputer rank CDAC Param Siddhi A1, which was the 102nd most powerful supercomputer in the world with peak performance capability of 3.3 tetraflop. Of applications helping research and development activities. So India CDAC is in process of developing so many supercomputers for India. Parama Padma, Parama Ananta, Parama. So in the Parama series. Okay. Its use will include artificial intelligence, machine learning, and data science. Computational fluid dynamics, bioengineering for genomic sequencing and DNA studies, computational biology and biometrics used in prediction and detection of gene network. It can help atomic and molecular science to comprehend and binding of drugs to a particular protein. The multiple applications from various scientific domains such as weather and climate, bioinformatics, etc. will be facilitated by this particular supercomputer developed by India. Fine. So after discussing the content, let's see some important questions. Fine. So consider the following statement about Asia Pacific Institute for Broadcasting Development. Okay. United Nations Development Program or UNDP is one of the founding organizations of Asia Pacific Institute of Broadcasting Development. Yes, it is. UNESCO is a voting member. So UNESCO is the founding member. So not a voting member. So the institute is hosted by the government of Malaysia. Full membership of the is confined to sovereign states only. So here only 2 is incorrect because UNESCO is not a voting member. UNESCO was the founding member and under the UNESCO it was created. So option will be 1, 3 and 4. So C is the right answer for question number 1. Moving to 2, with regard to Paramananta supercomputer, which of the following statement is not correct? Paramananta is capable of operating peak performance of 338 teraflops. Okay, it's not correct. So it is correct one. Fine, it is a correct one. Then the facility is this facility established under phase 1 of the National Supercomputing Mission. Following is not correct. Okay. So it is not under phase 1, but it is under the phase 2 of the program. It's not phase 1, but under the phase 2 of the National Supercomputing Mission, not phase 1. So this one is the wrong answer. Fine. 3. Consider the following statement with respect to Bharat Ratna and Padma Awards. Bharat Ratna Padma Awards are titles under Article 81A of the Constitution of India. Fine. And okay, which are not correct. Okay, so they are not titles. Padma Award, which were issued 19 were suspended only once. So they are suspended. Yes, they are suspended once. In which year? They are suspended once in the year 1992. This award is once suspended in the year 1992. Okay, and the number of Bharat Ratna awards is restricted to minimum five in a particular year. So, which of these statements are not correct? So, these all are incorrect statements. So, answer is D. 4. Uh, Micro-RIAS biotechnology has been used in rehabilitating degraded sites because micro-RIAS enables the plant to uh, resist drought and increase absorptive area, tolerate extreme of pH, resist disease infection. So all these things are correct. So answer will be D. Then question 5. Consider the following statement with reference to Citizenship Amendment Act 2019. The Amendment Act makes foreign migrants of 6 religious communities from Bangladesh, Bhutan and Pakistan. Not Bhutan, but Bangladesh, Afghanistan and Pakistan. Not Bhutan. Bangladesh, Afghanistan and Pakistan. Okay. So which of the which is correct? Okay. So only two is correct. One is it is not Bhutan. Bhutan is wrong. It is Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Pakistan. Fine. Consider the following statement with reference to Kabi art form in news. Okay, so this is a very peculiar art form where the red pigment lateral soil is used, so not blue. Fine. So the Kabi form of painting was introduced by the Portuguese. Yes, the blue is the only color used in this. No, it's not blue. It is red. It is red, not blue. Mostly found in Goa and coastal parts of Maharashtra. Yes, it is right. 1 and 3 are right, and this color is not blue, this is red. So, answer will be C. Following statement regarding pharmaceutical sector in India. India's pharmaceutical industry is third largest in the world in terms of volume and value. No, in terms of volume, it is third. It is third in terms of volume, it is third. But in terms of value, it is 14th. Fine. So, this is incorrect. And 2 and 3 are correct. Okay. And this is also not correct. So 2 and 3 are right. Which of the following statement regarding UDI is incorrect? A unique Administration Authority of India is a non-statutory body. It is a statutory body. It was created as a non-statutory body, but subsequently it was an Aadhaar Act was passed and the UDI became a statutory body. It is a statutory body right now. Okay, it aims to empower residents of India with a unique identity card. Yes, fine. Okay, then Prime Minister is the CEO of the UDI. No, this is incorrect. So these two are incorrect. So which of the following are so incorrect means 1 and 3 are incorrect. So who is the CEO? Who is the CEO? The CEO is uh, Saurabh Garg at present, not the Prime Minister. He is the CEO of UIDAI, Unique Administrative Authority of India. And the next one. So consider the following statement. GDP calculation national income by calculates national income by adding up all expenditures in the economy. Yes. GDP gross. The GBA calculates the national income from the supply side by looking at the value added in each sector of the economy. Both are right. Okay. GDP and GBA. It adds the value, this is the total production and its value. This is only the value addition part. Then question number 10. Consider the following statement with regard to Astra Mark 1 missile. Fine. Astra Mark 1 is beyond visual range air-to-air missile. Yes. Developed under the Astra project launched in 2017. No, this project was launched in not in 2007 but 2000. Launched in 2000. This project was launched in 2000, not 2017. Long back. Okay. So answer is only one. So students, so this way we are winding up today's discussion. Thank you for watching us. So keep on watching this program. So we'll be every day will be enriched by some information and some MCQs. Thank you. Thank you for watching.